And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that break. We're able to get some food, get ready for the series to come, because we have had a really intense day of StarCraft already. I don't think a single series has disappointed, and we only have 2 left to find out who else makes it out of Group D.
Yeah, beautiful. We do have some very exciting games coming out for us. A couple more TVZs potentially, so it should be great.
Yeah, potentially. Here we are in the elimination match here. Of course, if you weren't here at the start of the series, start of the broadcast, Lambo did get taken out by Serral in a pretty close 2-0. Like, I don't think the score really does credit to how the games went themselves. And Cure also barely went down to Bunny in a series that went all the way to the ace match.
Yeah, there were some really cool games, really exciting games. All of them have been really exciting games, actually.
Yeah. We even got a base trade. We almost never get base trades, mate. So it was crazy to be able to experience that in that TVT. I highly recommend checking out the VODs if you were not able to watch them earlier. But here we go. We find out who comes last in Group D. Lambo versus Cure. Another high quality matchup.
Yeah, here we go. And first up, we are going to be on Data C. So once again, a pretty big map should be lending itself to a nice macro game, should allow these two players to really get a feel for each other right now.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. I'm really curious to see how Lambo approaches this matchup. We saw Serral being hyper aggressive against Bunny until, the final game of the series, of course. So I wonder what kind of outlook Lambo has on this, especially coming into Cure. I know Lambo, he's typically more of a player who comes in with hyper preparation for his matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Lambo definitely a player that really thinks through different players' tendencies and how he thinks builds are going to match up, and definitely a planner when it comes to series like this.
Yeah, we'll see if he can plan for the Cure.
That's spawning up in the top right-hand corner of the map. The German Zerg playing for Shopify Rebellion. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Cure.
Are we going to be seeing Lambo going for a pull first aggressive build like we saw Serral going for, or are we going to be seeing going for a bit more standard hatch first? Does look like he does want to play things out, at least for the moment, more standardly. Meanwhile, for Cure, he is going to be opening up with a CC first.
Yeah, we have seen this from time to time on this map. It looks like Cure is going to be going for it as well, just like Bunny did on Data C. And Lambo isn't looking to go into any early pulls, as you're pointing out as well. So very economic openers from both of our players.
Yeah, there we go. So we will see Cure throwing down that extra racks about now as well. So there is a few options here. You can go for a 1-1-1 into a 2-base all-in. You can just go for a faster third CC as well. The third CC we don't see as often, but I think it would be pretty nice on this map. It can be a little bit harder to make 2-base all-ins work here.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Bunny try and fail to pull off a 2-base all-in against Serral on this very map. Of course, there's a lot that went into it. Of course, Serral was able to scout very early on what was happening. That kind of led into how that game turned out. So we'll see if Lambo can replicate that success, if of course it is a 2-base all-in.
Yeah, exactly. We do see Lambo pulling off gas now. Should be going for that fast third as well. Behind this, and yeah, just gonna be waiting to see what the Terran goes for here.
pretty much, as everything from the Zerg is as standard can be. He opts to go for the triangular third base here. Is gonna have that high ground advantage, gonna be able to spread that creep throughout the center of the map as well, which is be droning. No early gas is being taken from the side of Cure. We're here to see if he goes for that 1-1-1 or that third CC.
What's your favorite item from McDonald's, Light? Not asking for any particular reason.
All right.
Just wondering.
All right, hold on. Okay, first, buddy. Okay. We need a McFlurry. All right. I feel like
Yeah, of course.
Every like that goes without saying. Gonna get a McFlurry because it's hot. It's getting heated up in this room, and we need to calm down a little bit. Okay, you know we need to.
Wait, there's not a single McDonald's order that I make where I'm not putting Oreo inside me.
Oh yeah. Get him in, Papi. Get him in. Outside of that, do you currently have the El Marco going on in McDonald's for you, or no?
I don't think so. What is that?
Oh, okay, it's their attempt at a Mexican burger.
Is that like the the El Vegemite sandwich?
I told you. All you got to do is just add L in front of it. It's like, oh, it's
La
Spanish.
Vegemite sandwich.
You know, Papi. You know, yeah. So you could go for that. Could go for a nice burger. I don't know if now is the time for hash browns. I know you like to mix in some hash browns here and there.
They're a bit hot for a hash brown. I think.
True. You know, you don't want to melt your brain, Papi.
Oh, it's too late for that. I've done that over the last few years, Papi.
You could get a milkshake to accompany whatever burger you get. Nice milkshake.
Oh. I didn't even know they did that. Milkshakes.
Well. Okay.
We do have an Overlord Scout, very well timed by Lambo here. He's going to be getting in and seeing this fusion core. So he will know that there's BCs on the way. Cure is looking like he's set up to play mech. He takes his extra 2 gases very quickly.
Oh boy. 3
Beautiful.
1 third CC into that BC into what should be mech. Lambo was able to scout though. He was able to confirm the opener. We already have a roach warren on the way. Lambo is reading this quite well, responding accordingly.
Oh, but it's mech. No can defend.
Cure, he knows how to win, Papi. He knows how to play StarCraft. He's taking his
He's playing StarCraft. He's like, let's play StarCraft, Papi. And Lambo's like, I just want to play StarCraft.
You know, playing StarCraft means different things to different people, okay? As we do see the add-on switch here, and we should be seeing a couple more factories thrown down soon. Meanwhile, Viking across Mac picks off an Overlord. Not too bad. Supply blocking Lambo a little bit. Oh my, quite a bit actually. Forces 5 Overlords out of him. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh
my goodness.
A laser?
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Is that you?
So toxic. Yeah. As we do see, Lambo not going to be getting that 4th base straight away. Instead, opting to get 6 gases, going up into a nice high queen count, setting himself up to get a Spire as well.
He is. Meanwhile, the BC teleports across the map, but the queens are all waiting in position here. Does already take down half of its HP, forces it into this dead space. At the same time, Hellions are trying to find a way in on the front lines, but we have Lings, we have Roaches in production.
Yeah, Lambo is very well prepared from this opening. Looks like Cure's is going to be clearing out a little bit of creep behind this. Back at home, he has another BC on the way, getting those extra factories going as well. Has his extra gases too, so he is setting himself up to go into this mech macro game. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
God.
Well, for Lambo, I haven't seen... Okay, there we go. The 4th base does go down now. It goes down very late. I'm not sure if this is standard or if he's looking to get a bit of a roach pressure going before he gets his economy going.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things that just happened. One, the 4th base was late, and what even was thrown down before the 4th was the infestation pit, and we see why the Madman is going into Swarm hosts.
Yeah, this is a response to mech that's been growing in popularity a lot recently. We've been seeing Reino use it very regularly against the likes of Maru, Gumiho, anyone who's brave enough to go mech, and with mixed success, to be honest. Sometimes it looks really good, sometimes it really doesn't. Mostly versus Maru, it doesn't look very good. Versus anyone else, it looks quite good.
Fair enough. We'll see how he does against Cure here. We just see, 2 queens going down to this 1 BC. The Hellbats are getting on top of this as well. Where are those roaches? They were slow to respond. And because that, they even forced the Locust to reveal themselves defensively.
Yeah, Q is so patient with these Hellions. Didn't commit with them until he could get damage. And the extra Hellions is going to be diving straight on top of these drones. Realizes that there's just not enough here for Lambo because of those Swarm Hosts, because of that Nidus. 15 drones going down. This is fantastic damage for Cure. And for Lambo, with that fourth being so late, this really hurts.
Yeah, this is an insane amount of damage right now. 20 drones have just gone down. The Roaches were out of position. They were waiting in the Nidus. The Swarm Hosts as well were forced to use their Locust Wave. And across the map, the Nidus does get spotted. It will not finish.
Yeah, that BC going to TP back on top of that. Lambo going for a very defensive Nidus worm over here in the top left-hand corner, but his economy has been seriously crippled. We do see 65 drones to the 80 workers of Kuran. Doesn't matter what race you are, being behind versus mech is a really bad feeling.
It's really difficult to come back from this position. Not impossible, but difficult. We do have a lot of Swarm Hosts, and over time, Lambo can definitely gain value out of these free units. But we'll see if he can pull it off. We'll see if he can pull this off against the mass BC that we're getting into from Cure, as the Locust Wave picks up a couple of workers.
Yeah, not bad damage, but one of the biggest things that Cure did with this Hellion run by when he scouted that Nidus, when he scouted that Swarm Host, is he also bought himself a lot of time to prepare for that first wave. That first wave was delayed by maybe even 90 seconds, by quite a lot, and that makes such a big difference.
Yeah, and on top of that, we do see the BCs teleporting across that. We have the freedom to do so, as Curious perfectly fine defensive at home. He even forces the cancel on the Spire. It was halfway done. We have a second backup Spire on the way in the main base, but the BCs are not done. They're going into the main.
Yeah, that's huge, and realizing in this position that you can TP into the back of the base is really nice by Cure. That's a very clever move that shows a lot of game sense, that he realized that he could do that.
Yeah, definitely, and he's going to be able to deal even more damage. At the same time, Locust Wave does rock up across the map here. Does run into the mech army, though, so isn't able to deal too much economic damage. Only really takes down the sensor tower, but at least across the map, Lambo is able to zone away those BCs, and the Spire should be able to finish.
Yeah, there we go. He does put that Spire in a bit more of a safe position. He is starting to get these Niduses into some more threatening spots as well. Looks like Cure did spell this, and Cure actually going to go for a little bit of... looks like he's going for a move out here. This is a pretty unusual move out, but I think it is prompted by Lambo's lack of units back at home.
Yeah, exactly. Not just lack of units, but also, especially if this Locust Wave goes off offensively, so much supply for Lambo is going to be dead. And there we go. We have a Locust Wave headed towards that planetary fortress, and that means Lambo barely has anything to defend.
Yeah, his Planetary's in a bit of trouble, though. It looks like it is going to be given up. Cure going to save the SCVs. Very mature decision there, as he does push in here, and there are no Locusts available.
Yeah, 0 Locusts available. Lambo has to give up this hatchery. The tanks are sieging on forward here. At the same time, the BCs are breaking on through towards the north.
Yeah, there we go. A lot of damage all over the place for Cure here. Looks like the Swarm Host should finally be just about getting those Locusts off cooldown, but not before this base can go down. Only 6 drones have gone down so far, so Cure doing a good job at saving those, and looks like he will be able to teleport out of those now that the Corruptors have been shown.
Yeah, Corruptors finally do pop out. They were so delayed because of the Spire timing, but finally they are going to be able to force all of this back. At the same time, Locust Wave is trying to come in and dive on top of these tanks.
Yeah, there we go. The tanks are going to have to siege to deal with the Roaches and Ravagers. The Locusts are going to drop down on the other side from the Hellbats, and very efficient trade here for Lambo.
Very nice cleanup there. Lambo swallows up the entire army, and Cure is going to need a lot of time, not just to rebuild what he just lost, but also to rebuild his 4th CC. He didn't have another orbital to replace it.
Yeah, there we go. And we find ourselves in a really weird situation where it's a very low eco Storm Host versus mech game, which is kind of unusual, but Cure just going to be, sharking around with these Hellions, trying to see whatever damage he can get. He does have some Cyclones started up now, so that does help his mobility, but he's going to have to bring some Hellbats home to deal with this Swarm Host wave.
Oh, the Locust Wave comes behind the Cyclones to try and cut them off. 2 Cyclones going down immediately here. It looks like Cure should have more than enough to deflect this push, but he's losing quite a bit.
Yeah, 11 SCVs go down. These Cyclones are going to be able to grab these Corruptors.
Ooh, yeah, nice big offs here. The Corruptor count, again, basically being reset. Oh my god, every single Corruptor going to be going down.
Yeah, every corruptor goes down. This means these BCs do have a lot of potential for damage, especially if these queens can be picked off. And feels like Cure once again has a bit of momentum on his side. We see Lambo immediately going to be canceling that base, but Cure just keeps on pushing.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He wants to push on further. He knows how vulnerable Lambo is right now, but you know what? The Locust Wave has reset. Lambo, he's going for another surround.
Yeah, I mean, this time the BCs are here to help deal with the Locust, but that is a lot of Locusts here. Lambo is going to be diving those towards the back of the army, and he times the Roach move at the same time, but the Blue Flames, they do clear out the Locust very quickly.
Yeah, the Hellbats got here to reinforce just in time. They're actually catching some of these Infestors as they pop out. We do have a Fungal, though, and it looks like the Infestors came out just in time.
Yeah, nice Fungals, nice splits as well. We just have enough tanks to secure this position. Looks like not too many Ravagers on the side of Lambo, and we find ourselves in a very awkward position here where Cure is between the bases. Still a little ways off this next Locust Wave, but I think this Locust Wave should be able to clean things up.
Yeah, it really should. We do have a couple of Hellbats staying back here to try and protect these tanks. The Locust Waves are just moving in, though, so they're not getting the best position.
Yeah, not the best Locust Wave there, but we can see why. It's because Lambo is setting up this fight, but all the tanks are taking out every single unit. Lambo can't clear this out. GG is called.
GG gets called. Cure with his BC opener, with his mech, takes the first game. Oh.
Insane. That was a really close game in the end.
It really was. Like, I do think a lot of it did come down to that Locust Wave. If that was done a little bit better, maybe Lambo would have been able to clean up. But bearing in mind that as all that was happening, the BCs were breaking into the main base. They were wreaking havoc there as well. Like, there was still a lot of other chaos going on. Oh.
Yeah, and the killer instinct of Cure as well to dive straight into that position despite not being quite maxed out or not being, not having the perfect mech army there. He does realize that between Swarmhost waves, there would be that potential.
Yeah, and he was so adamant about hitting these timings in between those waves. And yeah, a style of mech that we don't really get to see too often here. A very, very aggressive style there. And now, Cure, he leads the series 1-0.
Maybe I should revisit mech, puppy. Looks pretty good.
Stay away, Poppy. Stay away. In the next patch. Oh boy. I'm never going to play StarCraft again. Oh god. As it looks like, our map of choice... Ooh, Asher. It's been a while, but we're going to dance in the moonlight.
We're going to Moondance. Recently I looked at all my win rates per map, and my TVZ on Moondance is 25%.
Oh.
So I went looking for pro games to see how pros are playing it, and all the Zergs veto it. That is so sad. But here we go. One player who's not going to be vetoing this map in the top left-hand corner of this Moondance. It is the red Zerg playing for Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Moondance, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Cure.
What do you do, Cure? Show me the way.
Oh. Lead the way here for Asher to smudge people on the ladder.
Please. As we do see Lambo going to be going for a gas pool, a little bit similar to that game that we saw out of Cyril. So as we saw in that game, this does often lead into 8 speedlings just as a little pressure, and this time it's not going to be a CC first but a Rax first out of Cure.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Lambo does with this. If he only does the 8 lings and then pulls out of gas, because of this map, it is quite, I feel like, accustomed to things like Roach timings and Roach follow-ups. So I'm curious to see if Lambo does commit even further into said gas.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We should have a very fast link speed coming out here for Lambo. Meanwhile, on the side of Cure, just being a little bit conservative, going to be sending out that scout, getting that CC at a good time. So he should be able to get the scout on what's going on here, as we do see the first few links being started out by Lambo.
Yeah, only 2 links for the time being here. Lambo is going for link speed, though. He does immediately pull out of gas. Unlike Cyril, he's not going to be like waiting a little bit longer to see for any kind of response. He does recognize the timing on the CC on the low ground. Is going to be very efficient with his workers.
Yeah, and he actually makes a drone here, so 2 lings, and a very fast ling speed, but going into a fast third. This is very odd.
Yeah, maybe he was hoping for a CC for I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird here, because I'm trying to think of a situation where he would want to just continue to make his lings and invest. Meanwhile, the Reaper gets across the map and does get a scout off of that third base timing.
Yeah, there we go. So he's going to start to skirmish with these lings a little bit. Does get one of those down, and we do see Lambo is going to go up to that 8 ling count. Just a little bit of a roundabout way to get there.
Yeah, it's just a little bit later. Maybe you could argue maybe a little bit more efficient here from Lambo, especially because he gets a little bit more drones earlier on, and he's looking to just use these lings once he does get into ling speed. They're going to try and bypass that Reaper and get across the map.
Yeah, meanwhile, back at home, Q's gone for a very safe response, made 2 Marines here, is going to be getting into that 3rd CC as well as the starport, so just playing a very safe response here.
Yeah, again, he was able to scout the opener earlier, fully recognize what is happening. We do see Lynx trying to punish this Reaper, but the wall is a wall. The Marines are here to help support them. The Reaper is going to be going down, as well as 1 SCV.
Yeah, there we go. Nice little detail there as well. Nice little tip for you, Terran players. Kyo did realize that it was a pull first and it was a little bit of aggression coming his way, so he's been dropping his mules in the main.
Yeah, just being a little bit more efficient here. Didn't want to lose any mules needlessly at the natural, so very nice play. Meanwhile, he did end up going into his 1-1-1 into that 3rd CC.
Yeah, and behind it, it's going to be a fusion core right in vision of the Overlord. He does not care. He says... it's Lambo, you know, he kind of walks over to the dressing room and Kyo's getting changed in there, and Kyo, he opens the door. He says, "Watch me, Lambo."
It's not even that Lambo stumbles in. It's Lambo. He was just like walking past the door, and then bam! It just opens.
Hey, Lambo. Hey, Lambo. Look at this.
Look at. He exposes himself to him, Papi. Oh my god.
Like an animal.
What kind of dressing room experiences have you had? Oh my god.
I don't want to talk about it. Not today, Papi. Not today.
Oh my god. Things are they're heating up here on Monday. Yeah. Heating up here in Moondance, Papi, you know. We do see a lair on the way. Yo, Roach Warren as well. Again, Lambo did scout the fusion core, so he's fully aware of the potential for mech.
Yeah, Lambo definitely all over this. It does look like Q are going to be going into that BC, getting a few extra Hellions out as well. Just trying to help control the creep and push back anything that he can with this Viking as well. It'll be interesting to see if Lambo wants to go for Swarm Host again, or maybe go for Spire. I think on a smaller map like this, Swarm Host is probably going to be not the best idea, because those mech counter attacks that Q was doing in that last game, they get across that much quicker between those Swarm Host waves.
Yeah, they really would. So we'll see what Lambo's response is going to be. As you were saying, it's going to be unlikely for that infestation pit, but the lair is about to finish up, and we'll see what kind of tech he's going to be going for. We expect to be seeing a much faster 4th hatchery. Meanwhile, Cure throws down 2 more Raxes.
Yeah, there we go. So Kyo just subverting expectations a little bit here. He's going to be going into bio out of this. I did notice he was a little bit late to take his gases, so yeah, it looks like he was just kind of waiting to see what was going on before he committed to it. We do see that TP of the BC over at the natural. The Queens are ready and in position.
Yeah, they are in position. They're going to be able to force this BC back towards the main base. Spire is on the way as a response as well. Much faster compared to game number 1, where Lambo did prioritize that infestation pit instead. So he's going to be taking this a little bit more seriously, and he can get into mutas as well once he does recognize that it is going to be bio.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see that Spire is going to be on the way behind this. Cure is just going to be adding on some extra Raxes. So often when you do see one BC into bio, it is for an 8 Rax, but I am just waiting to see if he's going to be throwing down those extra axes with a second... Oh, is there a second factory? No. Yeah, just going to wait to see if he throws down 3 more axes here.
Yeah, we will keep our eye on the production tab. At the same time, we do see a little bit of Ling run by here. Going to be able to take down 2 of those workers. Not bad here from Lambo. Does confirm a couple of Marines as they do pop out there at that 3rd base. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they dive straight into the 3rd base.
Yeah, they are lining up those drones. Even trap a few of them in there. 13 drones going down, 14. Great damage, takes out a lot of Lings as well. Might even get these 2 Hellions out of here.
Oh my god, we'll see as the Roaches are going to be keeping up here. The Hellions just dishing out a little bit of DPS on that 3rd. Meanwhile, we do see 3 more axes thrown down.
Yeah, there we go. Looks like Q are actually going to be going into this Marauder mine style. It's been very popular lately. Mario popularized it in GSL, and Cure has really grabbed onto it. He really likes playing this way. So it's going to be 8 racks, but instead of Marine Tank, it's going to be Marauder mine mostly.
Ooh, yeah, we'll see how this goes. This can work quite well against these Ling Bane heavy compositions. Lambo making a couple of Roaches. He also made a handful of Mutas. We have 8 Mutas on the map right now. Going to be scouring around, going to be going across the map immediately on the left-hand side, and Cure has no idea. He's not ready for this.
Yeah, there we go. So the BC is going to spot the Mutas, but it's going to go down as well. So the BC is gone. That's a lot of utility lost for Cure. We see turrets immediately going down, but he is not ready. Mine's going to be running over to help deal with this, but they just don't get there in time. Oh, they do get there in time. Lambo prioritizes the add-ons.
Oh my god, he does end up denying one of those add-ons. Looks like he's going to be able to deny another as well. The mineral line for the time being is going to be safe, but the production is not.
Yeah, there we go. Lambo really being a nuisance with these Mutas, slowing down the production of Cure. That production, very important with this ARAX build, and looks like Cure being quite distracted by this as well.
Yeah, he was trying to push out on the right-hand side, but he met a wall of Roaches, so he couldn't really find too much success there. Meanwhile, the Mutas, they're actually going to be able to pick off a depot at the 3rd base, just barely, even an SCV, but ooh, at the cost of a Muta.
Yeah, 2-2 getting started up for Cure. We do see it's been a pretty big lapse in the production as well, just while he goes into crisis management mode to help deal with these Mutas. So a little bit unfortunate there for Cure, but he is back in macro mode now as that 4th gets landed and up and running.
Yeah, but now because of all the time that was bought here from these Mutas, Lambo, he's fully saturated on his base. He's up to 83 workers. We have 1-1 on the way, Infestation Pit, Ling Bane being produced. Lambo, he's maxing out. He's looking quite comfortable.
Yeah, he does get that armor upgrade, so did recognize quite a while ago that it was bio. Is going to be able to start getting into this Ling Bane Ravager composition. We don't really see too many Banes at the moment, so if Cure can hit a very powerful push right now, this could be pretty scary for Lambo to deal with.
Oh, we'll see Lambo right now engaging here in the middle of the map, forcing Cure, at least buying a little bit more time for Baneling speed to finish up as it will in a couple of seconds. Doesn't have the best upgrades on his bio, but sorry, on his Ling Bane, but a lot of Queens get picked off.
Yeah, the Queens get caught out of position here. That's a lot of creep being denied as well. Lambo really hasn't been able to spread this creep too far.
Yeah, he really hasn't, barely connecting all of his bases, barely edging in towards the middle of the map. So Cure still has a pretty big window. At the same time, Mutas, they go for a counterattack, but there's plenty at home to defend.
Yeah, a lot of turrets here for Cure, making sure he's very safe in this back base. Doesn't want to have to deal with this. He does want to send as much of his army across the map as he can.
Oh, exactly. And Lambo is in a really interesting position here. Like, his army isn't the most ideal. He still has a lot of Roach Ravager from the early game when he thought it was going to be mech, and because that does mean that his supply is a little bit inflated, but he's diving on top of the army.
Yeah, he does ride on top of this army, but he's going a long way off of creep. A lot of these Banelings are going to be going down, and we do have reinforcements here. That's a lot of the army being shaved off for Lambo right before the 2-2 kicks in for Cure, so a little bit of an anti-timing there, an awkward time to lose army.
Yeah, and every single creeping queen is going to get picked off as well. Once again, they were caught off of creep. It looks like the Mutas are going for another big backstab, and this time there's not that much at home to defend. This time they will be dealing damage.
Yeah, but there we go. 2-2 has kicked in. Cure is going to be sending it right here, right now. Not too many Banelings here to defend, and Army is just trickling in here while he tries to control the Mutas. But Cure, he's not responding.
He's not looking, Buffy, as the entire army gets cleaned up. Cure was a little bit too distracted by the Mutas, and he loses everything.
Yeah, everything going down. We do see a lot of those Mutas have been damaged there for Lambo as well. Cure could just be replacing those with Tech Labs, getting those extra CCs down as well as an extra factory. So looks like Cure's going to be transitioning into more of a late game composition here.
Yeah, exactly. He's working on his fourth. He's working on the rest of his tech. 3-3 just now starts. Kira is going for a second wave. But again, it isn't going to be as anywhere near as powerful as the first. Lambo just now starts a wave of bailing, so there's a bit of a window here where maybe Kira can abuse that. Oh, as he's going to be going for a bit of a drop as well.
Yeah, Q has quite a lot of mines here as well. That can be pretty dangerous. Looks like Lambo going to be trying to snipe off some of those. Doesn't quite get those 1 or 2 going down, but at the same time, there is a lot of army here for Lambo. All those banelings were able to morph on in, and despite being so far behind on the upgrades, he does have a good army lead.
He really does. The mines are going to be borrowing here. 5 mines. It looks like some of them are going to be baited out here. A couple of them do on borrow, but they all get taken out.
Yeah, nicely dealt with by Lambo. Picks off the perfect amount of banelings and suddenly Kira in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, meanwhile, the drop on the right-hand side does get a mineral line. It is going to be able to take down that hatchery, which is nice, but his main army is struggling a little bit. It looks like, though, that one drop really did pay for itself.
Oh, I don't think this is the fight for Lambo. I don't think he should go for this.
Oh, my God. He runs into a wall of marauders and mines, and he loses a lot of his Ling Bane.
Yeah, every single baneling going down. The supply of Cure was affected quite a lot as well. Lost quite a few units there, so not the worst time ever to go for a trade, but I am a little bit worried about Lambo's ability to deal with this counterattack.
Yeah, we'll see if he can deal with it. Again, the creep was never really respread. We do have some decent creep on the right-hand side, but again, earlier a lot of queens did end up going down, and looks like Cure is going to be able to squeeze his way in on the left-hand side and take down another base.
Yeah, and there we go. We do have Thors on the way. We have 3-3 on the way as well. So a little bit of an upgrade lead there for Cure. And Lambo still doesn't really have that many banelings.
Yeah, exactly. Still trying to find an angle, trying to find a way in. Here we go. He's pulling the trigger once again, trying to push up the ramp.
Oh, enormous mine shot goes off on so many banelings there, but Cure is trapped.
Oh my God, he's trapped. We see a full surround. Even though the mine shot was insane, Lambo still cleans up the army.
Yeah, and there we go. That baneling going to be, the mine going to be taken out before it can fire, and it feels like Lambo, he's just got a little bit too much here. He is starting to overrun Cure, and I have to wonder if that baneling shot there was what put the tides in his favor.
Yeah, it may have been, as it looks like Cure has been broken. The third is on fire, the natural as well. The mutas are looking to break in towards the main base, and Cure just doesn't have a standing army.
Yeah, everything is on fire right now. Cure desperately trying to get together an army that can deal with this, but with those banelings being morphed in there, with the wall broken at the front, so many mutas still remain. Cure is really going to struggle to hold on here.
Yeah, Cure opened the room to the dressing room, and Lambo just stepped in.
And walked in.
No fear, puppy. He's been here before. As Cure, he's trying to hold the line here at his main base, but there's just an overwhelming force of Ling Bane.
GG, the mutas overwhelm Cure. Taken down. Lambo gets a win.
GG. Lambo ties up the series 1-1. Cure having a really interesting build this game, where if you recall, he did go for the BC opener into bio, not into mech this time. But Lambo, it felt like he was able to get a read on that quite early on, and especially with his first flock of mutas, he was able to get that map control and get a lot more comfortable. His creep spread was lacking, don't get us wrong, but yeah, he had a bit of an easier early to mid game this game compared to the last.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job slowing down that push by taking down the add-ons on the new Raxes, and as well as that, I think there were a few key moments where Cure just wasn't looking at his army at certain times when he was dealing with the mutas in his main, and he wasn't watching his push over to the left-hand side of the map. That was a lot of army that he lost, and he was in a relatively all-in position. So, yeah, that was just unfortunate timing for him, but well set up by Lambo.
Well set up in the end to pull apart that attention of Cure. And now we are going to be getting into the final game of this series. We're going to be getting into the ace match between Lambo and Cure.
A final countdown.
We
do have Inside and Out as our last map.
Let's go, puppy. It all ends here. Inside and Out. As a reminder, the winner of this series moves on to the decider match to play against Bunny.
Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, tying things up in that last game. This is Shopify Rebellion's Lambo.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have we have the South Korean Terran player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Cure.
Inside and oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been seeing a few players going for this 2-racks here where you block off the center area.
Oh my
and
God.
It kind of doesn't matter if it gets scouted because you can't really stop it from getting up, and it's so close to the base as well.
Oh, but Lambo just will pull first.
Nice. So Lambo going for a bit of a blind counter there with the pull first, and it's going to be hard for Q to make this 2-racks work now.
Yeah, yo, let's go. How is this going to turn out? So again, Kier committing to the 2-racks. Lambo doesn't have eyes on this though. You were talking about it, how, you know, even if this does get scattered because of the RNG, the Raxes can still finish up. The Overlords are moving on out. It looks like Lambo's center Overlord should be able to come across this.
Yeah, you should just spot this out, but at the same time, it is good for Q that this is a 2-racks and not a 3-racks. He does have a transition out, so it makes it less of a disaster that it's pulled first, but it's still a little rough.
Definitely. Like, I still want to give the edge a little bit here to Lambo. Kira now recognizes that he has been scouted, is going to be moving in with his SCVs. Marine production has commenced, and as you were saying, there we go. The bunkers are now on the way.
Yeah, there we go. Lambo actually going to throw down a Roach Warren straight away, so looking to respond to this very aggressively.
Yeah, that does mean that he can counterattack immediately once he shuts down this push. But likewise, Kira is also already attempting to transition back at home with that factory that should be starting up soon as well. So, yeah, we'll see how this all turns out. The bunkers are going to finish.
Yeah, Lambo going to run these 2 links straight past as well, so looking to just set up a bit of pressure on the other side of the map with those.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the natural base is already under threat. The first 3 roaches are on the way here. We have to be very careful with this queen, not to let it get caught out before the roaches pop out. Oh.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a curious response to Cure. It almost feels like he's responding like it's a 3-racks.
Yeah, he is. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, this is typically the 3-racks response, and because of that, this 2-racks is potentially going to deal more damage than it should.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We do have that queen coming down to the low ground. Should be nice and close for those transfuses. Doesn't want to venture too close to the bunkers, but the roaches are going to start to get some damage down. Nice focus fire from Kira, immediately getting that queen before it can use its energy.
The queen goes down. The hatchery is going to be going down as well. And again, Kira isn't all in with this. The factory back at home is already done. The bunkers are being lifted up and they're floating across the map.
Oh, and a lot of roaches going down. Lambo is barely breaking this.
Yeah,
he isn't breaking it.
He's not breaking this, mate. I'm a little bit shocked here. I'm wondering what it was that Lambo saw that forced him to respond like this, because he did only see 2 Raxes. He only saw 2 SCVs as well. So he even gets supply blocked.
Yeah, this has been a disaster of a response for Lambo. This extra overlord back towards Cure's base is going to go down as well, so it's supply blocked again.
37 out of 30 supply, no overlords on the way. Lambo is stuck with 4 Ravagers, and what is he going to do with this?
Yeah, this is a feels bad moment. Cure just going to leave those Marines back at home just to help delay those last few Ravagers of Lambo, and he does have a tank on the way. He already has a Cyclone finished. That's really going to help him when it comes to defending this.
It really is, and the other disastrous thing is that the Overlord across the map died, right? So there's no high ground vision, so these Ravagers can't even punish the ramp too much, to be honest. I mean, there's already a Cyclone waiting for him, and I feel like Lambo's recognized this. He's just turning around with his Ravagers. He knows he can't do anything across the map.
Yeah, and there we go. You're going to be going straight into Banshees as well, just to make sure that he's extra safe here. Doesn't die to the Ravagers. He knows just how far ahead he is, and that all he really needs to do right now is hold on.
Exactly, and Banshees are also a great way to just secure a victory as well. You know, the queen count is quite low. We don't really want to be making any spores right now either, because we're at such a low drone count, or at least Lambo is, and Yeah, where can we go from here? I mean, a lot of players do try to transition into or try go into like, I don't know, like fast layer into mutas or something for map control, but even that I don't think can be really pulled off here.
Yeah, I think Lambo definitely doesn't have the economy to be doing that, as we do see Stim is going to be started up. We have a third CC on the way from Cure, just extending that lead, and this Cyclone going to go out and see if it can poke at this third base. The third base is quite low, and I don't think there are any links, so this is in danger.
It is in danger. Cure doesn't go for it though. He's going to be sharking around with this Cyclone. Could even pick off an Overlord. Could go for some Ravagers here. Is just going to be chilling, and he's actually going to be waiting here for his Banshee to meet up with him.
Yeah, there we go. So he's going to start to put a bit of damage on that. That should bring out the Ravagers. And maybe he can pick off a few Ravagers now.
Yeah, there we go. There's the lock on. It looks like one Ravager will barely survive, but he's forced to pull back due to the Banshee.
Yeah, I love as well that he's opting not to use the lock on here on that hatchery.
Oh, exactly. And there we go. Just lock on the Ravager. Does take down one of the high health Ravagers.
Yeah, I don't think this third can get up.
Yeah, we're going to have to cancel here. We don't have any Lings. We do have Ling speed, but Lings don't come out in time, and there's that cancel.
Yeah, there's Overlord even in a little bit of trouble here, and Lambo is going to opt to take the other third on that left side, but behind this, Cure's got his third orbital coming up. He's just so far ahead.
He really is. There's nothing else to really say about that. Like, Lambo is really struggling to come back into this game. The Banshee slips into the natural. We barely have any mining to begin with, and now even more drones are falling.
Yeah, I mean, Cure loads up a double drop, thinks better of it, maybe realizing that he can just go for a kill move at some point. There we go, we do reload that double drop. Lambo just GG's out. Yep, and fair enough, honestly.
GG. Lambo doesn't even wait for a big fight. He knows how far behind he is, and Cure takes the series 2-1.
GG. Bit of a smudge loss there for Lambo. Not sure why he went for that response there, and it really did not work out for him.
Exactly. I'm trying to think as well. Again, for those wondering, that there has to have been something that would have tipped Lambo off that there would have been a third Rax. Maybe he did some research, and maybe Cure has a tendency to do 3 Raxes. So when he saw the first 2, maybe he just assumed that there would be a hidden third or something like that. That's why he went for the Fast Roach Warren. It's hard to say. Again, that's not typically the response that you want to be having against 2 Raxes.
I do remember Raynor, during some casting that he was doing of one game, saying that if you don't know whether it's a 2-Rax or a 3-Rax because you scout it late, sometimes you do just have to guess, and if you get it wrong, you die.
That's true, but I don't think that Lambo scouted it too late though, right? Like when he saw the Raxes, they were I want to say halfway done. So I understand that, but at the same time, I don't know. Regardless, GG, well played. Cure takes the series, and that means that our final series of the night is going to be a TVT.
Yeah, there we go. So we are going to have that TVT showdown between Bunny and Cure once again.